Alright, hey everyone, so this is the part 2 follow-up for the dye job that I did on the old UCP ACU camouflage system, our US Army camouflage system with this LBE harness carrier system. So, excuse me, little pungent aroma in here still from all the rattle can work. So the brown RIT dye, it worked okay because this is 100% polyester and nylon. It did not take the dye as well as the actual clothing fabric for uniforms. It did take it a little bit and darkened it, which was nice, but I went ahead and with Rattle can I just did an entire base coat of Rust-Oleum outdoor camouflage matte forest green, just base coated over the whole thing real lightly. You can still see the camo pattern a little bit underneath, and it is a little bit darker because that brown dye did take about 70% of the brown dye washed out in the cold rinse after. So that's why I just went ahead and started doing the rattle can action. So did a whole green, dark green over the whole thing, and then I started going in with the khaki tan and then brown, and there's a couple of spots of loam in there, but it just doesn't look as natural and organic, so I kind of doled those out with a little bit of brown spackling over it and everything. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Much more resonant of M81 woodland camouflage, but a 3 color instead of like a 4 or 5 color. Here's the front. Kind of has almost like a French feel to the camouflage as well, or maybe even a little like DPM a little bit, but again, just limited colors. I kept it all natural colors. I didn't use any black, darker colors in the green, and even the light. I mean, just the way that light works and everything, and shadowing and everything, this will pick up shadowing fine. This is going to look really good out in the field, and at some point I would like to do I'll be doing a camo test video with this out in the field to kind of show you how well it works now. But you can still see the camouflage, the original Digi camouflage coming through a little bit. Again, it's a little bit darker. But then I just kind of went over and just did that patterning action with it. As you know how you should do camouflaging and break up pattern and everything, and break up your profile and everything. So this is what it looks like. It's still drying, but this is what it looks like kind of in the finished product. So you can see especially, you know, the brown dye worked. A lot ran out even in the cold rinse, and I let the dye sit there overnight. I even did an extra rub down with the dye, just straight dye, and it kept some of it, but a lot of it rinsed out just because of the material that it is. So some of it stayed, and that is apparent. And then I just went and just did a nice rattle can job over everything, and I think it looks really good. I think this is going to work very nicely, especially in the region that I'm from, or in places around, like, say, Europe, and just heavily wooded areas and areas that have seasonal changes and things like that. I think it's going to work in a lot of situations like that. So it looks good to me. I like it. I'm very pleased with it and how it looks, and I think this is going to go pretty well. Even as the paint that I've sprayed on there kind of gets, you know, roughed up and worn off and fades a little bit and everything, it's still going to look really good, and it's going to complement the dyed digi pattern underneath very nicely. I think it will. So it looks really good right now, and you know, rattle can's cheap, so you can just go back and touch it up as you need to or whatever. So, but make sure you use, if you're doing a rattle can job on a system like this, and Brent0331 has done that before on various chest rigs and stuff, make sure you're using an outdoor paint, because it is more waterproof or water resistant, and it just holds up better, and yeah, it just helps with all things considered. So looks really good in my opinion. So I kind of getting the best of everything with doing the fabric dyeing, and then going and doing some rattle can action on it. And you can do that to clothing as well too with the rattle can. You can do that. It'll look good. It'll look good. You just got to make sure you're varying it up like this, okay? I took some cardboard and just kind of cut out some, like a kind of a stripe template, and then kind of a more blotch template, and then just kind of went around and just did it. I even did a little bit of camo netting experimentation, and that kind of works too, you know, but I just kind of did a little bit more old school in a mostly 3-color, technically 4-color because a little bit of loam in there, but mostly 3-color, and I think it looks really good. So very pleased with it. So yeah, you guys want to try something like that, go for it. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I will answer them, and at some point I will do a test with this out in the woods and let you know what it looks like out there, and we'll get you watching that. So all right, I'm gonna get out of here. It's extremely smelly in here right now, so turn my bathroom into a makeshift paint booth. I have good ventilation, so it's okay. Yeah, enjoy. Try it out for yourself, guys. It's good shit.